Melbourne, you did the doubles with Colan as well, the mixed doubles, and got the world record, which was an
Yeah.
amazing performance, amazing time. Did you think that was possible before the race?
Oh, man, that was, like, the hardest race I've ever done. Like, if you think about redlining, I can't say how hard that was. Did I think it was possible? I mean, I'd heard a rumor that Hunter and Joe were going for the world record, and Cole and I had said, "If we can keep up with them, there's no reason that we can't." And, like, what led me to Cole is, again, maybe it was a sign from the world, I don't know, but Tom Rogers and I raced doubles at Perth, and did really well. We got 52 minutes, which was a cracker time, in terms of, like, doubles wasn't far off the world record at the time, which was, like, 51:08 or something, I think. I'm not really sure. Um, but then Tom had a bit of an injury, which has then, made him have to pull out of, a number of races, and thankfully, he told me well in advance for Melbourne that he couldn't race, and said, "Why don't you find someone else to race with? You've already got a ticket. Find someone else that can do it." And Cole, I had never heard of before, not even lying to you. He popped up on Instagram, of all things, and, had just run a great time in Chicago. It was like 55 minutes in a solo, and as you do, I was just, like, scrolling, and I thought, "He seems like a really nice guy." And I said to my husband at the time, I was like, Tom just messaged saying he can't race. It's a month out. I know Cole's coming to Australia because the post said, like, ticket to Australia after he'd just, done really well at Chicago, and I thought, I'll reach out to him and say if he's interested. Tom can't race. I don't know what time we'll get. It'll be a bit of fun if you're gonna be here anyway, and so he sort of said, "Yeah, I'll think about it. We're gonna do a little bit of travel while we're there, so we'll see if it fits in with our plans." And, like, hadn't really heard much from him, and then maybe, like, a week or 2 out, he just sent a message saying, like, "F yeah, let's do this." Which was awesome. And then, yeah, when he came here, I was like, "Oh, it'd be nice to catch up and meet each other beforehand." So his, partner, Krista, and me and my husband, George, caught up for coffee, and when people are your people, like, I feel like you know that straight away when you meet people, so we hit it off, the week that they were here. Like, Cole was smashing out training. He had his Elite 15 race on the Friday, and then, yeah, they were just kinda, like, trying to save their legs a little bit, so we hung out a little bit. I took him to go see some kangaroos, which is, like, Australian customary thing,
Love it.
and yeah, they loved it, and we just got to know each other a little bit, and I feel like that's part of, like, racing really well together with someone else is, like, being on a similar level. We didn't really talk about the race. Not much strategy was spoken about. I sorta said how Tom and I did it, and, like, if you wanted to do it similarly, and then yeah, on the weekends, like, Cole had his solo race. That was his first go at the Elite 15 solo on the grid, and he smashed it, but I think it still had some left in the tank, or sorta like there was things that he felt like he hadn't accomplished on the weekend, so he still had a little bit of drive left in him to wanna achieve something more, and similarly for my race with Meg, like, I felt like I still had a lot more to give after that race. And so Sunday when we got together, it was all in, and we were just locked in from the start, and we had a bit of a chat about how we are gonna do things. And it was funny, we were in the warm-up area, and, Tim Winch said to Cole, like, "Oh, what time are you guys aiming for?" And Cole said, "I think about 52 minutes. That's what Tom and Mollie got last time." And Tim was like, "Oh, man, that's really fast. That's a really fast." And then, yeah, obviously we had no idea what time we were on for, like, where we are. We were just so locked in throughout it, and in the start tunnel at the start, Hunter had his usual banter, and, he was like, "Oh, is this a couples race?" Because there was a few, like, Fabi and his missus were racing, and Tim and his partner, and, like, there was a few couples out there. He's like, "You guys having a crack, or is this a couples thing?" I was like, "Oh, you got the finish line." And then, yeah, so it was on from the start, and I've never experienced a race where it's, like, neck and neck, one station, one person's marginally ahead. The runs were, like, so close. Um, we had a plan that I was gonna lead on the runs, and then, like, maybe the second run in, Cole just was, like, out of the gate like crazy, and so I was just hanging on for dear life, and I think Joe was a little bit in the same boat that the boys were just powering out, and we were just hanging on for dear life. But yeah, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a race, and I said that at the end, like, once I got my breath back and realized I was still alive, I was like, "Man, that was so fun." Like, what it was yeah, it was crazy, and it was amazing to be in Melbourne. We had so much support there and so much family, and, my husband and, Cole's partner Krista were there on the sideline, and they were just yeah, they were having a great time together, and it was really nice. It was wholesome.
Awesome, awesome. I
Yeah.
I've spoken to Cole actually. I've recorded with Cole as well,
Yeah,
and
cool.
I said to him like that time for me like 49:13 I think it is, isn't it? Is like I track all the world records, and that was one that I didn't think was going to get broken for a long, long time. Actually, I thought that was like untouchable for a while. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was an amazing performance. Uh, and I should say as well, Cole said that you were like cooking on the runs. Like he said, you were
Oh,
absolutely
I don't
flying.
think I had anything more to give. If you train to run at a certain pace, like, I'd sort of said to a few people beforehand, before the race that I think we could hold like 5:30s. I'm like, I can't see, sorry, 3:30s. I can't see why we can't hold 3:30s. And then, yeah, I think we were running like 3:15s at some points throughout the race. And like, yeah, it was gone pretty quickly. So it was a lot. And it wouldn't have been, like you said, I don't think that if it was just Hunter and Joe there, or if it was just Cole and I there, the situation would be completely different because you wouldn't have that push from someone else. But to
Yeah.
have them there was like an amazing opportunity to race against them. And yeah, I'd do it all again tomorrow if he said we could.
The other thing I should point out, and I think I'm right in saying this, is that like I know a lot of people when they look at mixed doubles is they see a guy do almost all the work on the stations, like if they want to go fast. But I don't think that was the case with you, was it? I think it was like reasonably evenly split, actually.
We sort of had a little bit of a plan with that. Like, I'm not so bad on, well, not so bad, but competitively as far as the female goes on like the ski erg, so he did a little bit more on his goes. I did put a post up about like how we split it just because people were like, oh, how'd you do this, how'd you do that? And yeah, like the sleds, I moved half of the push, and he sort of did 2/3 in the pool. The ski we split quite close. He did about 220 meters and I did like 150, 170 each go. He did a big chunk of the roll, which was good because I was dying at that point in time. And Cole's really strong on his burpees and his lunges. Like if you look at him compared to the other guys, he just is like he's crazy. So his burpees, he did 8 to my 5. His lunges, he did 75% because he was so good at them. And then on the wall balls, we just had a plan. And this was really the only thing that was like set in stone was that once we got to the wall balls, I was going to do as many as I could do before he took over because we had this thing that the girls' targets that little bit lower. He's going to have done a lot more on the other station. So if we can just get there and I can just do as many as I can do, and it was quite fortunate in the end too, because Hunter was trying to do a lot. His is like the men's target's that little bit higher science, right? So if you times that by 100 and it's a millisecond per ball, that's when you start making up time. So even though they came in a little bit before us into the wall balls, we ended up to overtaking them towards the end, which was yeah, it was really cool.
Okay, amazing.